Hi, I'm Dan Schmitt. I do a weekly television show called Team Chicago Challenge. My website for the motorcycle racing show, Team Chicago Challenge, is teamchicago.tv. In 2012, I was a candidate for Congress in the 5th Congressional District, the U.S. House. That's to go to Washington. 5th Congressional District was on the north side of Chicago, ran all the way out to the western suburbs. Mike Quigley is the congressman. I lost the election to Mike Quigley. I didn't raise the proper amount of money, and I learned a lot of stuff. But I'm doing these shows. On my website, my political website is walkwithdan.com, walkwithdan.com. So I want to talk about, and this has to do with the national health care, affordable, so so-called affordable health care. I got to say these things. This is so critical. First of all, if you are a fireman and you go out and you start fires, which gives you work, you will go to prison. In fact, a few years ago, there was a firefighter out in the West. There's a female. She was burning some love letters or some breakup letters. She was despaired. She started them on fire. That fire created a big fire. I think maybe someone might have died in. I know she got indicted. You can't follow all cases, but she was a fireman that created a fire. Firemen that create fires go to prison. Do you understand that? Let me write that down. I really want this to sink in. Firemen who start fires go to jail. Understand that. Now, what does that have to do with the Affordable Health Care Act? About 2 months ago, Mike Quigley sent a thing out, it came in the mail, paid for by the government because he was a congressman. He sent a little flyer out that said, and I'm going to show clips of this while we're talking. Basically what it says is, if you're having trouble because of the Affordable Health Care Act, call me. Basically, that's what it says. Well, I put together a little remark about my little answer to what he so-called, put in there. But the bottom line is this. The only reason people in the United States of America are going to have trouble finding their way through this health care thing is because of you, Mike Quigley, because of you, President Obama, because of you, Harry Reid, because of you, Nancy Pelosi, because of you, Chucky Schumer. All these goofballs, every single one of them that pass this so-called Affordable Health Care Act, either they were stupid or they were lying. No way in between. Either President Obama is so stupid that he did not know that passing this act was going to cause people to get thrown off their insurance, or he's just out and out lying. Mike Quigley, exactly the same thing. Either Mike Quigley was so stupid that he voted for this because the other Democrats were voting for it because he thought it would be a great thing. Either he is so stupid, this 2,000-page bill, or he is evil. There's no in between. You really think that this is going to be helpful to the majority of people? Now, so far, since the passing of the Affordable Health Care Act, 5 million Americans have lost their insurance. There were people like me, independently, self-employed, doing their own thing, doing the right thing, buying their insurance. I was buying insurance with a high deductible so I could afford it. It was like $200, $300 a month with a big deductible. But I controlled my health care. You take care of yourself. You are responsible for your health care. Get this in your noggin. You are responsible for your health care, not the government. If you think the government, if you think some bureaucrat in Washington, D.C. is going to care about your health care, you are an idiot. You are either an idiot, you're either a moron, or you are an imbecile. If you think the government should be in charge of your health care, if you are so sad that you believe that that's how things should be, I'm telling you, you have a problem. But these people, President Obama, Mike Quigley, are no different than a fireman that starts a fire to make work for themselves. When Mike Quigley sent that piece out and said, if you have trouble, come to me, that is evil. That is as pure evil as evil can be. That is as criminal. Down deep inside, you want me to tell you what I think? What I think these people want to do? I'll tell you what I think. I think that they want to control health care so that you will have to go see your Democratic precinct captain, and that's how you're going to get your health care. That's how sick it is. That's how sick this whole concept of national health care. This is the United States of America. This isn't England. This isn't Canada. Canada had their chance. Canada had their chance to be part of the United States of America. Get this in your noggin. The War of 1812 was fought basically about Canada. Canada had an opportunity to become the United States of America. They rejected it. They stayed with Mother England. Mother England, there is no constitution in Mother England. There is no constitution like the United States Constitution in the rest of the world. Nowhere in the rest of the world. We are so lucky. We are so fortunate. To be born in America is like winning the lottery. And now you're going to think the federal government, you're going to think the bureaucrats are going to care if you live or die. So, I'll go back to here. When the firemen start the fires, they go to jail. Do you understand that? So for these 5 million Americans so far that have lost their health care, their prices have doubled. I mean, read all the reports. You got a federal government that's dictating to you what should be on your health care plan. And that's why the prices are going up, the deductible is going up. So when I had a $5,000 deductible plan, and I was, now if lucky for me, I'm on my wife's plan at the moment, but with my plan, I would have been thrown off, and my $5,000 deductible might have went to $6,000 or $10,000, and I'd be paying double. I mean, every story you hear. And what's going to happen in June or July and August? People that work for companies, people that have your insurance from your companies, these people are going to start losing their health care also. There's going to be 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 million people going to lose their health care. And I hope it don't happen. I hope the Republicans would stand up and impeach all these insanity people, one by one. I mean, now we have the Attorney General issuing executive orders. How about that? Is that in the Constitution? But I don't want to destroy anything. What we are facing at this moment, it's going to be a collapse of the medical, and then Hillary Clinton's waiting in the wings to run in 2016, where she'll put complete control. They'll have you believe me. You're going to have to become a Democrat. You're going to have to go to your Democratic precinct captain if you want to get your health care. That's how evil this whole thing is. So like I said here, firemen, when they start the fires, and let me throw in one thing. I got 3 more minutes. One debate, there was only one debate in the whole campaign because the media is evil in the city of Chicago, state of Illinois. Nobody really wanted to cover this election. So the one debate we had with the Daily Herald, the show, when I say Mike Quigley is not that bright, okay, I'll give you a good example. What came up, one subject, high-speed rail. Well, Mike Quigley, he's all for high-speed rail. This is how uninformed a Mike Quigley is. To put a high-speed rail, over 150, 200 miles an hour from Chicago to St. Louis will cost billions and billions of dollars. Sure, it would create a lot of jobs. It's money we don't have. Plain and simple. You cannot raise taxes enough to cover. So in the little debate, I said, I'm against high-speed rail. We're going to build a high-speed rail from Chicago to St. Louis so that 400 or 500 Cubs fans will be able to ride the railroad when the Cubs play in St. Louis? Are we totally nuts? To fly to St. Louis is about $100. To take Amtrak to St. Louis is about $150. The high speed may be $200. You could buy a hamburger at O'Hare and fly to O'Hare and fly to St. Louis and finish the hamburger, and it'll cost you $5. A hamburger on Amtrak will cost you $12, and it's probably been sitting in a freezer somewhere. Believe me, we have reached total insanity. Mike Quigley defends, and then the other thing he said, and this is so humorous, how dumb Mike Quigley really is. He said, well, if we build this rail, the freight system will be able to use it in the Chicago area. Okay? Do you know the freight railroads? I mean, Santa Fe is owned by Warren Buffett. You know Warren Buffett, President Obama's good buddy? Warren Buffett, but I like calling him Warren Buffett. He owns Santa Fe. Maybe that's one reason that President Obama will not allow the pipeline. What do pipelines compete with? They compete with the railroad. So Mike Quigley thinks that the railroad, to move freight, we, the taxpayer, should pay to improve the rails for freight companies. They've got millions of dollars. They should fix their own rails. The government, the federal government, should not be involved with fixing railroad. But coming back, firemen who start fires go to jail. This is a warning I have to Quigley and President Obama. It's evil what you're doing, and the media going along with it is just as evil. And I'm running out of time. Dan Schmitt, teamchicago.tv, walkwithdan.com is my other website. If you want to email me and give me a comment on this, my email is teamdan45@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in.